Yesterday, seemingly out of nowhere, Pentax has released a ton of information and even gave their new camera away to a handful of influencers to test out. Sadly, I was not one of the many chosen, which quite frankly is disappointing, seeing as I've been, I think, pretty dedicated to covering said camera, but hey, that's life. It's called the Pentax 17 because it's a half-frame camera, meaning that instead of 24 or 36 exposures, it shoots 2 frames on one single negative, essentially doubling your total number of frames on said film. Because of this, the camera also shoots in vertical orientation, which outside of it needing to shoot that, I think it makes a lot of sense for the modern social media and phone era of portrait-oriented photography. The camera dons a fixed 25mm f3.5 lens, a manual advancing lever, and even a built-in flash. These are all great things in my opinion to make the camera more versatile, I guess, but still giving it that tactile film camera feel. We've been seeing a ton of these half-frame plastic cameras pop up everywhere, so it's cool to see a more legitimately built one using much nicer materials and making a camera that will seemingly last for the long haul. I've really enjoyed shooting with my Kodak half-frame camera and gotten some really good results from it, surprisingly, so I'm sure that this Pentax camera will be leaps beyond the quality of the Kodak camera. The camera also has a built-in light meter, which from what I've heard from other creators is actually quite a really good, reliable one. The camera also has a variety of zone focusing features on the lens and a beefy grip where the battery goes. While I haven't actually had a chance to shoot it or even hold the camera, I do think that based on everything that I've heard and seen from the camera, I can tell that I really do like the ergonomics and design of the camera. Having a good mix of these automatic features with the more tactile nature of it, the manual advancing lever, the battery grip, the adjustable dials on top, etc., I think is a really good medium ground for the camera. Now, in my opinion, I do think that this camera is definitely aimed at newer photographers and a younger generation for sure in general. But with the amount of manual features to it, I think that it's actually quite a good bridging camera to a beginner to open them up to more manual or intricate film cameras. The camera has an adjustable ISO dial from 50 to 3200, which is really nice, an exposure compensation dial, and bokeh mode, which just means the camera is going to shoot at the lowest aperture f3.5. 18-year-old just starting to shoot film Keaton would love this feature, honestly, to a detriment. The camera also has a manual rewind. There isn't some small motor to respool the film after you finish shooting it, so you've got to respool it yourself. Finally, the camera retails for $500, which I do think is pretty steep for a more informal point-and-shoot type camera, especially since it is half-frame. But from what I've seen online from photos and people's opinions on it, it does seem worth it, honestly. Now, would I choose this to be my main camera or only own this when I'm going out specifically to take photos? Maybe not. But having this for bringing into concerts or bars with friends, taking on the dirt bike or down the river, I think that would be excellent for this and probably is the best current camera you can buy for that specific shooting style or niche. That being said, I can see this being a super appealing sidekick to my Mamiya 7 when I'm out shooting, the Mamiya 7 for the more grandiose, slowed down, epic photos, and then this Pentax to rip unapologetically along the way. Again, leaning into that shoot away, informal style of shoot first, ask questions later. I really do wish this camera has the most success it possibly can have. The more success Pentax has with this first initial camera, we can see their later cameras, which they outline in previous blog posts and plans, come to fruition. Additionally, the more successful this project is, we can hope that other manufacturers would look at possibly creating their own film camera down the road. Look at Mint with their Rollei 35AF. If both these cameras have good success, I would bet we could be seeing more and more film cameras coming in the near future, which is nothing but a good sign for film. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think about the Pentax 17. Is there any specific video you saw from a creator that highlighted it especially well? I would love to know down in the comments. Also, do you see yourself picking this camera up? I know for me, I'm gonna try to sell some older film and digital stuff to recoup some funds and ultimately pick this up as soon as I possibly can. Otherwise, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, stay safe, stay shooting. Adios.